Hook. What happens when a global pop phenomenon returns after years, and the world collectively gets goosebumps in a single square in Seoul? Today we are diving into BTS's comeback, how it wasn't just a concert, but a cultural moment that reframes what live music can feel like in 2026. I'm your host, and I'm not just here to recite set lists. I'm here to unpack why BTS's return matters beyond the hype, what the crowd energy revealed about fans, and how this moment fits into bigger trends in K-pop, global fandom, and live experiences in a post-pandemic world. The core idea I want to start with is simple: BTS is more than a band. They're a social and cultural event that travels through language, borders, and generations. What makes this comeback especially striking is how the crowd turned a public square into a shared, living memory. Personally, I think the decision to perform in Gwanghwamun Square wasn't just about acoustics or logistics. It was a deliberate statement about art, citizenship, and belonging. The square is a symbol, a literal public stage for the people, which mirrors BTS's long-term aim: to democratize pop stardom and invite everyone into the experience. First big idea: the return as a logistical and symbolic reassembly. BTS paused for military service, then re-emerged as a seven-piece unit in a city that embodies national identity and global outreach. From my perspective, this isn't just a comeback, it's a case study in rebuilding a brand after disruption. The logistics, free seats, global Netflix streaming, and a massive international crowd signal a new era where accessibility and spectacle coexist. What many people don't realize is that the scale of participation goes beyond ticket buyers. Thousands watched on screens and streams, turning a national moment into a worldwide shared event. If you take a step back and think about it, this approach blurs the line between concert and civic ceremony, reinforcing the idea that fandom can function like a public ritual in the digital age. Second idea: Arirang as a sonic bridge. Arirang isn't just an album title, it's a centuries-old folk melody, a living thread through Korean history. Their integration of Arirang into Body to Body isn't mere fan service, it's a deliberate craft choice that merges tradition with contemporary pop. What makes this really interesting is how it reframes modern pop as a portal to national memory, and the crowd's reaction, tears, recognition, a shared cultural shorthand, demonstrates music's power to anchor identity in a global audience. In my opinion, this moment hints at a broader trend: artists weaving folklore into modern sound to create resonance across generations and borders. A detail I find fascinating is how a global hit like Dynamite sits beside a traditional motif. It shows that heritage and hype can coexist without diluting either. Third idea: the ARMY as a global, locational network. We see fans traveling from Malaysia, China, France, Bolivia, Guam, and beyond to stand in a single square, proving that fandom geography isn't linear. From my viewpoint, this is evidence of how modern fandom operates like a decentralized ecosystem. You don't need to be in the same city to participate in the same cultural event. What this really suggests is that the internet-enabled, cross-border fanbase turns a local venue into a planetary stage. People form connections through shared rituals, and the moment in Seoul becomes a template for future cross-cultural pop spectacles. Fourth idea: the comeback's timing and cultural currency. The world's moved on from the days when a band could monopolize attention with a handful of stadium tours. BTS's return shows how a group can leverage multi-channel storytelling, live performances, streaming, and cinematic documentary-style moments to stay culturally relevant. What makes this worth analyzing is how a 4-year hiatus still yields enormous anticipation, suggesting fans crave continuity and shared experience as a social glue. In my opinion, this signals a shift in how longevity is built in pop: not just new music, but ongoing engagement, ritualized moments, and a sense of ongoing narrative. Deeper insight: a new blueprint for megafans and mega events. The concert's reach, local space, global screens, and streaming illustrates a hybrid model where fans participate in multiple modalities at once. A key takeaway is that the value of a live moment today isn't solely the 90-minute performance, it's the entire ecosystem around it. The visuals, the mood, the communal act of being there or tuning in, and the conversations that follow. What this really suggests is that the future of concerts is less about scarcity, scarce tickets, and more about curated, inclusive experiences that travel across borders without losing intimacy. This raises a deeper question. How will other artists design events that honor local culture while feeding a worldwide fan base? Closing thought, the BTS comeback, seen through this lens, is less about the setlist and more about reweaving community and memory at scale. If we zoom out, we can interpret this moment as a manifesto for how art can reinforce social bonds in a fragmented media environment. One thing that immediately stands out is the power of a single square to ignite a global conversation, reminding us that live culture remains a potent force in an era of screens. As we watch how this narrative unfolds, I'm curious to see which other artists will adopt a similar hybrid approach to accessibility, heritage, and shared public space. What do you think this BTS moment changes about how you experience live music? Are you drawn more to the idea of a global, interconnected fandom, or to the magic of a local, in-person ritual? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more breakdowns like this, hit subscribe and ring the bell so we can explore these cross-cultural trends together.